Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. Still on the education, within the education space, the Minister for Education has said that the age limit for writing the WAEC exam, the WAEC coordinated exam, as well as the NECO, as well as JAMB, is pegged at 18, and that the instruction going forward is unless a child is 18, he or she cannot write this examination. At first sight, it looks like, okay, maybe for maturity's sake, and another level will look at it that they're putting another stumbling block on the line of people trying to get into university. Do you agree with the age limit or do you disagree with the age limit?
Okay. Well, I don't think it's a new thing because I remember that my mom used to tell me that if you are not 4 years, I'll be 3 years.
6 for primary school.
6 for primary school. They will have to do like this before you can actually enter. Yeah. But nowadays, what you see is that we parents, we are tired of paying school fees. And now if you stay in a, to be honest, if you stay in a particular area, let's say, sorry, for the islanders, the lucky people, you know that you'll be spending like 1.something million for your child that is in reception. So when you see the opportunity of just allowing your child, your 4 years old, jump and enter nursery 1, you immediately jump at it. But to be honest, I actually like this. I think that we should allow children learn at a very good pace, rather than us just trying to jump them immediately. You see that, oh, just because your child is good in mathematics, you tell the principal, oh, she's very good in mathematics, let her not do primary 6. Let her just go to JSS 1. No, there are processes to it. And I totally applaud this. It's very nice, to be honest.
As an educationist, I understand where it's coming from, but I do not think that we are right for the decision because we have not put certain things in place as a country to be able to put this ban. Or else, what will happen is that the poor people's children are the ones that will suffer. And then the cuckoo they suffer before, the suffer will continue for them. Because for the rich people, they have options. They have other options. They will not do WAEC, they will not do JAMB, they will do SAT, SAT, they will do IGCSE, they will do, you know, and all of that. They have options so they can easily get out of this. Now, one of the reasons it's important that children are mature is because there's a level of, you know, intelligence you get to at a certain age. I made all my children to do primary 6. Good. Even when they are cousins. I had a fight with my father-in-law because of this. Why are you making her repeat? Why are you making her go do primary? Yeah, look at her, so and so person. They were born at the same time. She has finished secondary school, blah, 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 blah. I said, Daddy, leave it. I know where I'm coming from and I know what I'm doing. And I'm doing it for a reason. I'm doing it because I know that she will likely not go to a school that she will be delayed. Where there will be strike.
Nigeria school.
Thank you. Now, what if, or public school, let's just use public school, for instance, because privates don't have the strike. Now, if I didn't have that option of knowing in my mind that she will go to such a school, you think I will not rush her? Because I'm calculating her age. If she graduates at 18 and she gets into school and spends 8 years, for instance, because of the strike, when will she be getting ready to do? Then she does NYSC. If she reads medicine, you know how many years that takes. By the time she's getting ready for the labor market, they've knocked her age out. She doesn't have that opportunity. How many poor people can afford to leave their children like that because we are chasing maturity? The idea is good, but we are not ripe for it. So there are certain things, is that putting the, is it cart before the horse, or how do they say it? There are certain things we must put in place before we can stand. If you go to other climes where they are saying, before you get into the university, you must be 18 years of age. They have certain things in place that make sure that you are entering that university, you're finishing at the time that you are required to finish. And then it works. We never reach there with a jump gun. Now, poor people, children, I go suffer this thing. Because they will not have a choice.
Not only poor people, children, the entire nation suffers for it. I would explain. Even though I agree with it for JAMB, I do not agree with it for WAEC. Reason is because I wrote GC and got my papers when I was 15. Yeah, and my parents compelled to write the WASC exam again because they need me to get it to qualify age-wise. And so I did another 1 year and did it. But the truth is that as a nation, it's this discrimination and all this lack of planning that got us here. So I remember then when we used to wait, my Professor Mrs. Inife then would say, Kiloman Shein, in the UK, in Batawa Law School, there were other courses you could take. So there was no idle hands. But where we are going with this one, we have too many idle hands. And we have our youth already plagued by too many vices here to have them idle. So a child who is brilliant enough to get into school at 10 or 9 would most likely finish and qualify for WAEC at 16. So when the child qualifies for WAEC, if WAEC has a body and WAEC has a body and NECO has a body for their secondary school living certificate, now say that you have to be 18, where the Peking will stay. One extend SS3 past that time. And you leave idle hands, you leave sometimes depressed and frustrated children wondering what the next step would be. So a system where there are other vocational courses a child can take preemptive of school, you know, or as prerequisite to getting their degree is good.
Yes.
But we don't have such here. Not enough. I did A levels. So by the time I got into degree, I was more than mature. I was past my 20s. And, you know, waiting and all of that, rewriting JAMB. But most children don't even know what A levels was. That diploma in law I did in preparation for law as a degree is not available for most. It's your parents with information that will tell you, oh, yeah, and because we live behind the university, my father had professor friends who could advise. Now, as a system, the Minister for Education, is he advising where a 16-year-old, because if a child is brilliant enough to do first level certificate at 10, now 16 go finish WAEC.
Yeah.
If you know repeat class. Now, if the child finishes at 16 and you say they only qualify age-wise, see what will happen.
Hey.
We had children whose parents were swearing to their birth certificate as opposed to registering it. When you born picking, you register, and by the time you reach to go school, you not qualify, you go swear them.
They go swear them again. Yes. I didn't think of this.
You go swear, say, no, I not born them the year I born them again. I born them 2 years.
He's 18
that you go qualify. You will now see that plague.
We are opening
they still do it.
Opening room for corruption. Now, a university that is guaranteed to graduate a child at 4 years of his degree, which is the exposed period, will not have children who are doing mago to come into it. We need to clean this system up.
Yes.
Federal government cannot continue to leave ASU to strike before they give them each term. We as a country have not built our university educational system. So that it's not about qualification or readiness. It is about equipping as well as providing and paying. You see them when they created TED Fund, ASU was still on strike several times because some universities are decaying facility-wise.
We've had universities that shut down because they cannot pay for electricity. And the students protested against the
They are not shut down. They are right now protesting. The students of University of Benin took over the streets, protesting the high cost of fees, electricity, which the university intends to pass to those children and their parents. Yes, now. So we are blocking the system. We are creating certain problems that we must, as the federal government, deal with.
I don't
but
think
that does not excuse.
To be honest,
I feel a bit concerned about this, and here is my concern. Like Nima, I didn't write at 15, I wrote at 16. We always write our NECO. You know, NECO is usually at the end of the year.
I didn't qualify. NECO does start that.
Yes.
No,
so
at our time,
I wrote NECO before writing my WAEC, which meant I was writing WAEC from a place of comfort. I had passed all my NECO, I had taken all my papers in NECO. So I was just writing WAEC so that maybe, let me see if I have more A's.
You just drop the NECO.
So I'll just drop NECO and use WAEC, which was what happened. I ended up using WAEC, but I had NECO. And I had NECO, if it was based on now, I wouldn't have been able to write the NECO in advance. And that time, I remember we were doing 2 sitting. You can do one, you write your NECO and you have some papers, and then you match and make up for it in your WAEC and able to use the two papers to go into your university. Now, based on the system, this new policy, we are not giving people the opportunity to prepare ahead so that you can write that NECO ahead of time or write WAEC. I even know someone that wrote WAEC ahead of time, that she just feels that the children tend to feel a lot of anxiety when they are writing the exam with every other person. So he made his child to write WAEC ahead of a year ahead, and they passed.
You see,
and so when they were facing the exam,
familiar.
They did not feel so bad. So the person still passed the game, but there was less pressure. But now you have put age limits.
So they can only try.
But if they graduate, if they leave the secondary school, let's say they graduate at 16, you can do your mock. There is mock now. I'm very sure that mock will be open to whatever age.
Different.
There is
so
mock.
I went to command. We used to do the NAEC exam in preparation for WAEC exams in command. So the Ministry of Defense, the Educational Department, will prepare an exam which will be compelled on non-SSU students as NAEC. I still wrote GC. It was until I did those 2 exams, I could come and waltz into a WAEC exam and come out the way I came out. If I did not prepare, they used to call it experience. You know, getting used to an exam system gives you the opportunity to get it at once. that preparation now, they have taken that opportunity out for somebody like me who wrote about how many times of that kind of exam to go and become experienced and pass
stop your preparation.
No, you can continue practicing at home, but you won't practice in an exam situation.
Let me take Ahmad. Ahmad has called in from Abuja. Welcome to the show. Good morning.
Good morning, ladies.
Yes, good morning.
Question is what I want to ask. Now that we have 22,700 fake results, will those people be refunded for the money they paid to those people?
Good question.
Yes. Secondly, between those who have the genuine certificate and those who are actually registered in school and without attending classes and they have their certificate, those who did not attend these classes, but they paid their subscriptions and all the dues, at the end of the day, they come down to achieve their certificate. Are they declared as also the fake certificate displayers in this country? Thank you.
Thank you, Hamad.
Yeah, the point is making.
Yes.
The government of Benin Republic and Togo failed to regulate their system and sanitize it, and now we are victims.
So how do we
They are the ones who should even be releasing the list of these universities, the way NUC would do here and say, non-accredited, non-accredited. So you know the one not to go. They didn't do that.
They may have put it there, or maybe it's online.
Well, let me just even
I'll
ask this
go there and
question
apply
based
them.
on what the caller said and what she just mentioned. What if you, like the schools in Benin do not require JAMB?
Yeah.
Similarly,
UTME.
And UTME. Similarly,
It's not the same.
the schools in the US do
don't
not
require
require JAMB
JAMB.
or your UTME.
Yes.
The schools in the UK, each person has their own
Standard.
pre-qualification document that you need to put there and the standard.
Yeah.
So what if there is the universities in Benin Republic have their own pre-qualifying exams you need to write, which they kept too? Is that part of the basis for disqualifying all the people that have studied in those universities? I'm asking this regards accredited universities within Benin Republic who are now giving certificates, but Nigeria is disregarding them. Oh, we already asked. They did not tell us the breakdown.
They have to.
They didn't tell us the basis for disqualifying
They have to make it transparent.
Yes, we need to understand.
Okay, Tope, I have
It doesn't look
a
like
new report.
Which one?
Okay.
I'm just reading this now. That
Okay.
the limitation is for JAMB starting from 2025. So no candidate below 18 will be permitted to write JAMB from 2025. That's what the minister said.
Okay, not WAEC.
And NECO and WAEC will not be allowing underage children to write their exams. And now they say, in other words, it's not somebody that has not spent, it's not for about age, it's about not spending the required number of years in that particular level of study, which is the 6 years.
Yes.
Okay.
That's what I understand.
So it's
from
not
what I'm
age.
reading, yeah. It says it's not a matter of age. It's a matter of the years spent at each level of education. That's what the minister was quoted to have said.
So if you have spent 6 years, but you landed
You
at
don't
15,
qualify now. You don't qualify.
No, they need to make
Your
it
school
clear.
will
I
let
beg.
you know.
They
You
need
know,
to
we have the
explain.
external one.
Because what I'm seeing here, he said,
DCE, NECO, it will not be covered by this.
He said, if you compute the number of years pupils and learners are supposed to be in school, the number you will end up with is 17 and a half from
Yes.
early childcare, primary, junior, secondary, and then by 17 and a half, by the time you are ready for admission. So we are not coming up with a new policy, contrary to what people are saying. So it is, but we have children who follow through. But maybe they have
started early.
So does this mean that we no longer can do double promotion? I remember that was in school. We used to do double promotion.
All those
They'll
things
say,
are paddy.
oh, no, because you're just so brilliant. It's not paddy.
No, it's not paddy.
It now turned to paddy.
Later on.
Yes, later on.
How do you push your child forward and you know the child is not grounded?
That's why I said that if your child is good in mathematics, you can, and you are close to the principal, you can just go and meet the principal and say, oh, my child is good in mathematics, so she doesn't need to do primary 6 or JSS1.
No, this one isn't just
used
like
to
primary
three.
2,
Yes,
primary 3. You
I
just
agree
keep,
with you,
when
neighbor.
you do primary 2 and you pass your primary 1 very well, primary 2 very well, they just say double promotion. Straight up, you landed in
child now gets
primary
to-
4. And you
I
will
make
not
my
do
child
primary 3.
repeat because they said he can move to the next class, but in some subjects, the foundation is a bit shaky. I said, please put him down.
Exactly. My sister did the same thing.
It was a serious fight in my house.
We should be bought some foundation.
I don't understand. I don't understand.
You know,
I said, put him there.
schools also
He will retake that
benefit from patronage of patron and matronage, if it's possible, of parents.
Yeah.
So they know the parents that are most supportive. I have started to downplay those awards when they come for parents.
I said, put him down, please.
They know they award you to raise
Let
your
him
kid,
repeat
and the
that
outcome of your
particular class,
people will encourage
which he did, and I'm grateful for it.
bless you.
And Thankfully, my husband trusted me. So when he was like, no, now, but this one is good, that one is good. You know, hey, we make up with the lessons and everything. I say, baby, you know now. You know. Let us redo this. Let us redo this. Well. And he allowed it. And I'm grateful now.
My son.
When we traveled, we had an opportunity for serious bonding for over a month. And I would hear how he would analyze issues. I didn't even know that he was already tilting towards science. I thought he was always going to be like me, the arts boy. He would analyze some science issues and everything. And I felt proud. Even though his mates are way ahead of him, I'm happy that he's grounded. Yes, he's going gradually, he's grounded. And that's the most important quality. So that tomorrow, he's not going to be calling me to tell me that I have to pay for special center for him to write exams. He will walk in there and he will write his exams and he will remember what he has learned. It's very important and use it to be able to solve problems. I think that's where our parents need to get to, that level where the child needs to be grounded in that field. And every child, I always say, must not go to the university. They go say, because you go, you know what, make other people go. No. Pay attention to the child. Some children are gifted in different intelligences that are not book. They are not, it's not math, it's not English.
Those intelligence.
Thank you.
So you go say,
understand it and accept it.
Tell you, say, mommy, I want to be a designer. I cut well, I measure well, I sew well.
Tell her you want
say, so, you know, yes, if my family, my father was a judge, my mother was a lawyer, my grandfather was a doctor. Who are you that you want to break the chain?
I remember
but the child will thrive.
I told my mother-in-law that, Grandma, I want to be a singer. And she said, I rebuke, in the name of Jesus, I rebuke, you will not be. I'm like, oh, just leave her alone. If that's what she wants to do, let her be. I can take her to a music school, then she unless her skills, and she blossoms.
So at the end of the day, we've said a whole lot concerning this about, let's take some social media comments about the fact that the way government policies need to be more robust. Yeah. Looking at every angle possible, considering everybody that can be involved in every way possible. And the certification that have been cancelled right now and nullified as fake, Nigerians would like to understand based on what metric are they doing this? What were the details of the investigation? They always have white paper. Can they release the detail of that white paper, the investigation carried out that now made them say all of these people that went to these schools within this period? Can they also mention the names of the schools that they are using, that they are disqualifying all of these things from? Can they also tell us if there were people that just bought the certificate as opposed to attending the school? Then concerning the age policy, it's so sad that some people, after finishing at that 18, might end up spending 7 years. So if there was no form of strike, if you go in and finish in 4 years, there's no problem. But because we don't have this guarantee in any form, there's a risk. So let's take more social media
Nigerians
content.
are very detailed in their response. I would like to take Ugumola first. Say nobody above 60 should be allowed to contest or hold public office and appointment. When 12-year-old Nigerians are mathematics genius in UK universities, this can be verified. Nigeria will find way to oppress and delay. And because we put those ages for retirement and then we extend them, we have an exception bracket to extend them, like for the former AG. Adewale Abimbola says, by the time my daughter is finishing university at 28, their own kids would have become consultants at the age of 26 because they use all the stolen money to send their kids overseas. We saw it last administration, all of them were retired, doing graduation when we were on strike here, within a full year strike. Adewale Abimbola also says, on the WAEC age exam limit, it's the plan of the ruling class to edge out our own children, whereas their own kids are in schools overseas without age limit. By the time my own daughter will write JAMB at WAEC at 18, and write WAEC at 18 and JAMB at 20, she will graduate medicine at the age of 28. And you know we have all those, as if they are doing BASBOS. Baba Lola says, BC, thanks for your valid point. But accredited universities is different from accredited course. So why did Wike's son in the UK, why did Wike's son in the UK and not Uniport? Why did this Wike's son graduate from UK and not Uniport? Saraki and other government officials, and even Yaya Bello didn't attend Nigerian school. It's American school in Nigeria.
Anam says, I like this one. Anam says that the Minister of Education should focus on getting children off the streets and into classes. We discussed education a lot last week, and I think it is important because we are many people are planning resumption next week. And so it is of course top of mind. People are reviewing results as well at this point in time. And the consultant, Minister Onyea, that came on the show last week, said that the most critical area of education are the basics, primary and junior secondary. That is where everybody must go into school. If we get it right then, we will have less issues to be correcting at the point of WAEC or JAMB or even the university. So I would really appreciate our Minister for Education to chair the conversation with SUBEB, which is in charge of the primary education, as well as the junior secondary education segments of the society, so that we can get all our children that are on the streets within Nigeria to get into school. Because those that now send their children to school will now be plagued with those that did not have opportunity to go to school, causing crisis for them as well.
So now.
I know there are many social media comments on this topic. Thank you, ladies, so much for an amazing insight. Welcome back, VC. Give it to us. Now we know why we miss you. We knew we missed you, but everybody that is watching now know that. We're excited to have you back.
I missed you guys
and
too.
There are we will always revisit the topic around education. And if you watch this show and you know people around you that did not get to watch or know much about this educational thing, having conversations with them as a community would help to spread the word, so that your neighbor's child will not end up in an unaccredited university or taking an unaccredited course, wasting money, time, and investment that could have been put into other areas. That's what we can take on the show today. We'll see you all tomorrow. Bye.
Bye-bye.